looks like they want to deal with lesser stuns, lesser disruptions on the side of Fearless, so Mozi as well as the Yaria will be taken out of the picture.
Yeah, and the Yarya there, people were like, hey, I mean, it complements so well with the Ogryn. They wanted to ban that out. You don't want to let the Ogryn get even stronger and more difficult to deal with the potential stuns as well. So it's a nice little ban for them, but it looks like Nongshim have gone straight up on against the farm laners, Ho Yi and the Lung, kind of limiting things a bit for FE at this point.
Yeah, we have seen a couple of solutions offered by multiple teams coming in the form of the Direnzier, and looks like it will be picked up. But I'll be honest about it, we haven't had the best responses of Direnzier picks across all of the different qualifiers. So I am a bit fearful for this Direnzier, even though it's played by KK.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, it's for me, the D-Range, it hasn't really had too much success. Its win rate hasn't been the highest as well. It just really hasn't been able to shine, and I just think it's because some of the other farm laners are just outclassing it. Like the Arlie, the Lung, the Hou Yi even, all of them just kind of just contribute a little bit more. D-Range has its potential. It does a decent amount of damage if you can get them going, but again, I feel like in terms of a farm laner, it's not exactly top tier.
Yeah, at this point, and plus with the disruptions coming out from the Sun Bin and a Princess Frost, this is going to wrap up the Nongshim Red Force lineup, and I like it a lot. There's a lot of control, a lot of disruptions, and I would find it really difficult for the side of Fearless Esports to really hit their strides in the mid game.
Yeah, and Fearless Esports right now, I feel I mean, you have the Zhang Fei, that's kind of tanky. The Yuan, again, just has that heal and the way to deal with it. They pick up the Mayan to kind of just round out this draft, giving Xingling that Mayan. I think he's great on it. But going into this one, it's going to be really all about the back line. How did they get in there? Are they able to get control of them and just kind of burst them down at the right time?
Right, so any preferences for the draft for either side so far?
My brain tells me, and my brain is usually wrong, but Fearless Esports is probably the better draft, or the better players as well. But my heart is always with Nongshim Red Force because I like Shin Ramen.
Sure, I think we can run with that as well. I think in terms of execution, it might be a little easier for the side of Fearless Esports, right? But if they play the cards right on the side of Nongshim, it could be a big win in the first game of this series.
Yeah, it would be actually pretty huge. I think that's, Fearless Esports, again, that first game against Scars kind of shook them up a bit, where they really weren't warmed up. I think that if they were to fall in this first game, that would be a huge shakeup. I want to see Nongshim Red Force kind of stick it to them, at least for that first game, to put a little bit of fear into Fearless Esports.
Yeah, now wave clear slightly better for the side of Nongshim Red Force here. They will start to have their initial rotations as well. And it looks like Faye actually managed to steal away one of the jungle camps.
Yeah, he's done a good job of just kind of just forcing it along, right? You want Faye's been great with that, just kind of invading or just making like contesting some of the easier camps, quote unquote. But Fearless Esports here doing a good job of just providing KK with all that space. D-Renjay, we talk about the fact that it might not be top tier, but hey, if it's got enough farm, it can do the damage. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, you can definitely tell, right? He has KK has this confidence around him, and I think the Nongshim Red Force farm lane series is kind of buckling under that pressure as well.
Oh, Haku.
Yep, he's gonna go in 1-on-3. Conductor shows he's already at level 5. He's gonna try Woodwind falling low as well. And there's nothing to save him. First blood goes into the hands of Nongshim Red Force.
Yeah, Haku not scared. He's going to go in 1 versus 3, realizing that the rest of his squad was going to be on his backside to help him out. And he set it up, and Haku, that's a great start.
Yep, Xingling actually commits the flash there. Can they get the kill on Haku? Not going to be that case here. And Haku walks away scot-free.
Yeah, I actually thought Haku was going to go in, and I was like, what is he doing? He has no ult, he has no other skills, and he looked like he was going to be aggressive going into 1 versus 3. But I think this is the, you get drunk with power with the Ogryn. Like, you feel like you could take on the world, but sometimes you got to worry about your cooldowns.
Yeah, but take a look at it, the very big discrepancy, right? He is already at 2.3k.
Yeah, I mean, he's starting to get 2.5. Like, he's just stepping up. Obviously, that first blood really helped him. And it looks like they're trying to prioritize as much as possible, right? I mean, they're even letting Illusion just kind of help clear the wave a bit because he can kind of make the rotations around. And they're just securing as much farm as possible. We kind of saw this, what Scars was trying to do. But it looks like, so far, Nongshim have done a little bit better job of just kind of securing that farm for Haku.
Yeah, so nothing too big in terms of difference yet, but it is a bit tough, right, for the side of Fearless Esports.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, it's a little bit, again, they're behind 1K. It's not the end of the world. We've seen teams time and time again be able to come back. But this is one of those things where, it's a little on the scary side, especially since Haku is starting to out level Dao Dao, who's 8-6 at this point. They're prioritizing as much as possible. And again, this is why Oghren, very highly contested, must be first phase banned if it's not going to be picked.
Yep, the pacing is insane at this point. He's already halfway done towards that Eye of the Phoenix.
Yeah, he's starting to get it. And I mean, 3.7, he's the win condition for Nongshim. Definitely putting themselves out, alleviating a lot of the pressure for Siri to not have to farm or to carry as much. Obviously, we expect Siri to get that farm and to do the damage, but, if Haku is getting all the farm and, and getting all the kills and net worth, it's not too bad of a big of an issue for Nongshim.
Yeah, now I want to point your attention to KK. He hasn't really been touched this entire time. He's about 2.6 thousand at this point. Spark Force Dagger in his hands as well.
Yeah, he's starting to get farm. Whirlwind is going to spot this one out, but who's going to go?
It is going to be an attempted steal. They will get the steal here. It is going to go into the hands of Fearless Esports. The damage has been laid down though. A lot of members on the side of Nongshim Red Force are a little bit low. Haku tries to go in. Will not be allowed entry into the backlines of Fearless Esports. And Fearless Esports Hong Kong walk away with the first neutral objective.
Yo, that's a huge one for Woodwind. He just nonchalantly walks into the Tyrant Pit, gets the steal, walks out with the Unbridled Outburst. Nobody died, gets that steal. That's perfect play. So much time wasted and effort by Nongshim to kind of get that Tyrant, but to let it go to Woodwind, my friend, you got to do a little bit better than that.
Well, this is the perfect picture, right, for the side of Fearless Esports. They didn't have the best start. Now they are kind of climbing their way back.
Yeah, climbing their way back, trying to get themselves back in this game. Again, little top lane, little action.
Yeah, no, Illusion going to try and get him with the Shattered Ice as well. Not going to really work out by Haku. It's a 3-on-1 at this point. Dao Dao waiting on the backlines. They will go for it. 2-on-1. Haku just gets all of the help on his hands. Will be soaking up the damage to allow that T1 to fall. And here we go. The backup has arrived. They're going to force out the ultimates coming in. It's going to be the Unending Sorrow. No, actually, no. It's going to be the Melody of Peace that come in with the heals for Dao Dao. But that's all they can do here.
Yeah, Haku right there just threatening, right? Forcing Jingling to play a little bit defensively. Dao Dao had to make that rotation to kind of help defend, but Haku was up in front. The rest of them, Kyung, Illusion, both of them took out that top T1. It's just space created, excuse me, and they ended up taking that tower. Really nice play by Nongshim.
Yeah, Fearless at this point, I feel like they would want to commit. Unbridled Arbor is already committed, and here we go. Once again, it's going to be the Melody of Peace. So I don't think this is a perfect position for Fearless Esports to take a fight.
Yeah, they're going to back off here. And again, Fearless Esports using their skills just very defensively, just surviving. Yes, they're looking to sustain, but Nongshim is kind of like poking and prodding at you. See what your reaction is. If you use the things like the Unbridled Outburst, then they look to disengage. But then now they know that the timer of that cooldown is going to be there.
Yeah, and now matching of the itemization as well. Kyung gets his hands onto the X of Torment, and he gets a tier 2. This is 6.5 minutes into the game.
Yeah, very quickly done. And again, it's just about the rotations, the moving around, seeing where they are. They were in their own jungle. They've been pushed back, but it looks like there's a little action in the mid lane.
Yep, that's a lot of damage, and here comes the heals as well. Once again, Dao Dao forced to use his ultimates prematurely before the actual fight.
Yeah, no real chance. Again, just staying alive. And again, I mean, it's not the biggest issue because of the fact that it's still really early in the game. But like later on the mid game, this is very depressing. You don't want Dao Dao to be using those Unending Sorrows that early in those team fights. He wants to be up front, just trying to do damage, chipping away. And then when he gets focused, he uses the Unending Sorrow to get out of jail free.
Yeah, now, bear in mind, KK has had a lot of time and space to farm. He does have his 2 core items, the Doomsday, along with the Spark Force Jag as well.
Yeah. Okay, so he's getting the right items, and now they're being pushed along. But Nongshim, look at this. sees that everybody's kind of invading their own jungle. They have no minions or whatever, but
Overcommitment onto Kyung there. He is falling a bit low. Nobody's able to kill him just yet, but he's in the face of Fable. Will he get the kill? It is going to be Dao Dao. He sets the tone here. Gets the first kill. Will they look for more? They will look to back out instead. In the meantime, on the bot lane, they're also having a split push. Haku wants to buy more time. He's going in. 1v3. No other lifesteal to be had just yet. He is in a position caught in the middle of 4 at this point. Conductor of Souls gets the heals. The time flux making so much work. Where's the time left as well? Not going to be here. Haku just trying to sustain through the fight, and the damage has been done. Fearless Esports will get a kill, unfortunately. It is going to be, no, it's a death. So they drop 1, they lose a T2, and it's all about Nongshim.
Yeah, it's all about Nongshim there. Haku's up in front, and you're kind of wondering, hey, why is he going 1 versus 3, 1 versus 4? It was more to just provide space for Siri, who was pushing in that bottom lane. Jinglin had actually made a rotation to kind of deal with it, and this is the replay where Siri catches out Jinglin, gets the solo kill, and that's perfectly what you would wanted to have done. Plus, they had taken the bottom T2, so again, Nongshim understanding what they need to do, how to attract attention in one place, but the real fight is somewhere else.
Yep, double whammy there. So he gets a level advantage from the kill on the Xingling. He gets a Tyrant buff as well, so that's going to increase the EXP. Dao Dao now looking for the opening for the fight. Woodwind gets caught out, does have access to his Bridal Outburst at this point. Will he unleash the beast? Timeline's going to be dropped down as well. All the ultimates are falling. Haku falling low. Dao Dao looking for an opening onto Illusion. Will not be allowed, so here comes the Path of Passing as well. They're looking for an opening. No team is able to find the entry point, but once again, Nongshim Red Force opening up the map and pushing down, putting pressure onto the bot lane. Second phase of the fight. Will they look for the opening just here?
It looks like they've disengaged. They don't want any more of this. You know, Haku up in front and just providing attention. You know, he had a nice Conductor of Souls. I think it hit 4, maybe 5 heroes at that point. He was up front. Kyung took some damage and he pushed it along, but now in the bottom lane, Jingling getting gone on by Kyung.
Yep, the support comes in. Kyung is now 1v2 as the rest of the team is going to try to make their way into the mid lane as well to get the punishment onto them. But Siri is falling low. 1-on-1. It is going to be a trade out farm lane for farm lane, but it's still a win at this point for the side of Fearless Hong Kong, because at this stage of the game, they have managed to recover some farm, but it looks like Nongshim Red Force, they want to force the issue. Top lane, once again, pressure all the way in.
Yeah, KK actually just barely, I mean, they traded with each other, but killed Siri first. That's going to be a bit more XP going his way. He's still behind, so it's going to help him, but it's not the worst thing in the world to be in that situation. Kyung dying was a little unfortunate, being a little bit overextended.
Yeah, hands on to Faye here. They will get the kill. Fearless Esports, they found the opening, but this time they might be getting punished. Haku drops the Conductor of Souls. Will not be able to find a target just yet. Dao Dao just trying to poke him down. And at this point, it's a bit concerning because Haku's not taking any damage at all.
Not taking too much, but he's being kited a bit, right? He's being slowed down. He can't get into the heart of Fearless Esports, and they've been pushing him away. They've kept him at arm's reach, so to speak. So we haven't seen Haku get too many kills. Yes, he's doing a decent amount of damage, but still, not having him in the heart of the enemy team is going to be much, much better. Haku takes the Overlord in the top.
Yeah, so very two distinct thought processes at this point, right? So Nongshim Red Force playing the map a little bit more, which is why they went for the Overlord. And Fearless Esports Hong Kong, they want to look for the pickoffs. So this Tyrant buff is definitely going to help them, not just with the wave clear, but the additional damage as well. So the next few seconds, really critical for both teams.
Critical. This is huge. I mean, look at net worth, tied. Literally tied. I mean, at this point, it was 3.2. Now there's a little bit of a jump, but it was one of those things where, like, wow, both of these teams really going at it. These are two heavyweights trading blow for blow. And I mean, it's 4-3 kills are negligible, but Nongshim trying to push out. At this point, I don't even know who has the map control.
It will be decided in the next team fight, right? So if Nongshim wins this, you can be sure Fearless Esports base is going to be cracked open. And here we go. Haku is just looking for an entry point, right? But Dao Dao is all up in his face. They need to make sure they have the vision as well.
Yeah, and both of these teams. Oh, Haku going in?
Yep, he will look for it. It is going to be just a poke at this point. They don't want to overcommit. The time bombs will be laid down. So it's really just peeling, right? Can we peel them long enough and hard enough so that we can really go for the fight?
Yeah, pushing it along. But again, this is, you think, why are they doing this? Why are they kiting them along? What's going on? But, oh, Siri.
Oh, first kill. It is going to be Siri who's taken down, and this is the marker they've been looking for. Fearless Esports going on to Haku. It is a 2v3, but the backup has come from the backlines as well. Down looking for it. They will lose out KK, so no farm names, but the damage is still able to be laid down at this point. Haku, supported by Illusion. Down in a 1v2. Does he have ultimates? He will commit it at this point. Going for Illusion. Half of passing slows it down, but will not be able to stop the death. But one-on-one, Haku gets the return kill, but it's still in favor of Fearless Esports Hong Kong because they have 2 members still surviving.
Haku, this Ogren is crazy. He was so low, he should have been killed, but oh, the Ocean of Tears.
Yep, it is going to be a finishing blow, a rampage, as Fearless Esports now run rampant across the map, but they have to make some security measures because the bot lane is being threatened at this point. Looks like they will let it go.
Okay, yeah, definitely let it go at this point. I mean, Haku right now, I was complimenting. I was just like, oh, he just survived. And then he gets blown up right there. So I guess that one's on me for directing that attention to Haku right there. But him dying here, he's level 15, still has a slight advantage. Obviously, dying there was a little unfortunate for him. But hey, Nongshim, they lost a lot of their team members at this point. They're actually behind now.
Yep, it's a bit unfortunate, right? And with the EXP swing, now Fearless Esports Hong Kong, they have a decent equilibrium across the map, right? Most of them are going to be close to the 15 level mark, max level.
Yeah, and look, let's talk about the net worth here, right? Jingling is actually the highest on his team, 10.2k. He's just been on point. He's 4-1-1, and he's just been doing, and he's been an absolute destroyer, providing a lot of space. And KK is doing a decent amount of damage with that space provided.
Yeah, now at this point it really is about positioning, and looks like the map pressure is starting to feel in from the side of Fearless Esports Hong Kong.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to push in the top lane. The minions are there as well. It looks like Haku's going to deal with this minion siege catapult here, but oh, they got killed.
Yep, it is going to be a big one. Kyung, without Kyung, there is no initiation of it besides Haku, and that's a really dangerous position. Now they can only choose to disengage. T2 being put under pressure as the next wave is going to start marching in.
Yeah, and I think that Kyung is just a little over-aggressive. I don't think he's tanky enough to be that front liner just yet. Oh, but Jingling.
Yep, he's working hard. The team is going to try and back him up. Not going to be apparent at this point, but it doesn't matter, right? T2 already taken in the mid lane. Now they just need to make sure they, manage that bottom wave, because we've already seen how it's like if you miss out the important markers like clearing the waves.
Yeah, super important to understand, to have that map awareness. I mean, it looks like they knew Fearless Esports was going to take the Tyrant, so they went for the Overlord themselves. They do pick that one up. Dao is slowly whittling away, and Tyrant actually just goes, he's like, yo, this damage is so little, I'm just going to go back in the cave and heal.
Unfortunate, Haku actually catches eyes onto what's happening here. Goes in, tries for the steal. Will he be able to get it? Will not be able to, gets frozen in the process as well. But it's all okay, right? Nongshim Red Forest, they're fine with this happening. Now, the Overlord and the Shadow Vanguards will start making their way, taking flight onto the top lane as well.
Yeah, it's going to be pushing, right? This is good. So space provided, at least in that top lane, but now Nongshim can use that.
Oh,
they
Siri
do
gets
take a
caught! Yep, it's going to be unstoppable, and that was all credits to Sinlin. Here we go. The Beast form has been dropped as well. Sinlin looking for more, gets a whatever. Now they're looking for an opening, and at this point, Fearless Esports will be deterred by that path of passing. Haku is the only thing standing in their way.
Yeah, hello Siri, you are now dead. It looks like he's down for about 25 more seconds, unfortunately for him, and really, they can't fight without that. So it's like one of those things where if Kyung went down, they couldn't fight, they had to defend. Nongshim, Siri went down. Again, they have to back off, they can't really fight. So it's one of those things where, hey, you gotta be super careful. If we're gonna team fight, we all need to go together and not get picked off like that.
Yep, look at Singling though. Every single whatever he does just puts so much hurt onto the side of Nongshim Red Force. Now, because of this rotations by Singling, they have managed to take the T3 in the middle. The base has been equally cracked open on the side of Nongshim.
Yeah, it's wide open in that mid lane. That's going to be a little bit scary for Nongshim, who have done a decent job, especially early, but they're starting to falter. I mean, they're down about 6k at this point. Fearless Esports are finding gaps, ways to just further expand that lead. The super minions are in the mid lane, and it looks like there's going to be a team fight in the bottom.
Eyes on Xingling. It's all a poke from the rest of the roster, right? For the side of Fearless Esports. They get some hits in on Dao, not going to matter too much. And I like this, right? They actually abandoned the fight. So Xingling now in charge of just managing the waves.
Yeah, so it comes back to that top lane, right? Fearless Esports, we're looking to make an affront on that bottom T3, but not able to do it because they actually have to back off. Xingling is actually going to deal with that top lane, has to fix the lanes. Again, you don't want to be Winyan again, so it looks like Kyung is going to back off, and he's going to be fine, though.
Now, I like this risk-taking, though, by the side of Nongshim. They actually get the Azure Golem, so on the backlines, Haku may be able to find an opening. But actually gets spotted out by Xingling.
Gets spotted out, but look at Siri continuing to
push.
push.
Going to be dropped down as well. Illusion pops the Splendor. Time Flux is going to be used to save him for the time moment. But at this stage of the game, Fierce Esports, they open up a secondary lane. T3 on the top, exposed as well.
Actually, I'm wondering if Siri could have potentially ended that. I think that he could have put a little bit more front, and then Nongshim just kind of baited more in that top lane. It was actually kind of close. I don't know if he had enough minions to actually push it out. Obviously, Siri doesn't have... I mean, it's a little bit more difficult just trying to solo the base yourself. But, you know, you put a little bit of pressure. Maybe somebody from Fearless Esports he tries to recall and gets back out so that you have a numbers advantage. But Nongshim not able to take advantage of that, and it looks like they're back to a 5-on-5.
Yep, I like the notion. Xingling once again catching out two. Oh my goodness, what a kick. It's going to be godlike. Xingling sets the stage. Can Fearless Esports finish the job here? Xingling going to take the fall as well. It's going to be a 1-for-1 shutdown on this. But on the back lines, Dao is helping out the teammate. They're looking for Kyung. Now the Mega Tank is out. Where is Siri? Siri's dead as well. Now just left with Faye as well as Haku. The two against the world of Fearless Esports. And it looks like the KK is laying down the pain. Haku not long for this world. The heals come in. It is going to be Haku taken out, and now Faye, one man against the world. What can he do?
Yeah, not much, especially when the other guy that was alive was Faye. He was just running for his life. I mean, he really had no chance. He was going to get bursted here, but it looks like they're going to be looking to close the game.
Yep, they controlled it, but Fearless Esports ended, and they will take game number 1.
Very well played there, right? Fearless Esports just really struck back, understanding that, hey, even if they're behind, they find ways to just claw back into these games. That was a really well-played game by Fearless Esports, understanding how to do so, and they, you know, how to deal with this Ogren. Yes, Haku was